Hear from our mentors, borrow a journey and discover your own. This is the TUC Homegrown Project, our EduVenture Human Library series. Today we are joined by Josh Hack from Ag Farming Solutions. Josh will talk to us about his journey, the pathway and the skills he has used to get to where he is today. Hey Josh, thanks for joining us today for our Human Library.
No worries, happy to be here.
Josh, to start us off, can you tell us a little bit about what your work looks like today?
Yeah, so my work at the moment, we've sort of transitioned a bit into drones as well. So we run 3 spreader drones and spraying drones that can lift up 50 kilos, that sort of stuff. So that's probably about 60% of my work. And then I've got about 20% work, 10 to 20% work cattle. We lease 4 properties. And then the other 20 to 30% is helping farmers as an agronomist.
As an agronomist, great. And so when you say you're doing some drone work, what kinds of things do you do with drones in your line of work?
Yeah, so it's expanding all the time, like it's new technology, and there's something out there that is coming along every 6 months. There's something new. So currently in Australia, only 6 to 8 weeks ago, the newest biggest drone coming to the market, which lifts up 100 kilos. Wow. We've still got the 50 kilo ones, but we can spread seed for pastures for farmers. We even do it on a lot of sporting fields and things like that. And the good thing about them is that there's no trafficability, so we're not running over any ground, compacting any soil, damaging any pastures. You know, we've just gone through some pretty bad floods and we do get wet quite often here, so the drones have been really effective at getting that pasture and fertiliser and all that sort of stuff on at the right time. Also we can spray, so we can take the tanks out and put a spray tank in, and then we can spray on those fields or the pastures if we're cropping for corn, for example. We're coming into summer now, so we've got a lot of corn going in, so that's what I've been doing the last 2 days, is putting Roundup out and stuff like that and trying to get corn in the ground. And we have a lot of insect pressure as well. So once the corn gets a certain height, you can't get gear in there. So we can fly over with the drones and control things like fall armyworm and other insect species and stuff like that.
Wow, amazing. So Josh, can you tell us a little bit about your pathway? What have you, where did you go to school, or how did you get to where you are today?
Sure. So I'm from Tassie originally, so down near Hobart, just north of Hobart, a place called Bridgewater. Always been into agriculture since high school, so I showed sheep and showed cattle and all that sort of stuff. Left in year 10, so I only done to year 10 in high school, didn't go to year 11 and 12. And then went and done a TAFE course up in the northern part of Tassie called Burnie. And that's where I done my Certificate 2 in ag, there for sort of 8 months. And then got an apprenticeship on a farm. So, started out as an apprenticeship on a farm down at Cressy in Tasmania, which was an amazing opportunity. Like, it's one of those farms that does everything. Like, it's got, canola, wheat, barley, 12,000 sheep. It's got 400 head of cattle. They do potatoes, and it was just such a great opportunity. One day you're crutching sheep, the next day you're harvesting potatoes, and there's just a lot of stuff going on. So really learnt a lot from those farmers. But I wanted to study more, so after finishing my apprenticeship, I headed to New South Wales to study at Tokyo. So that was my migration north to start with, and never really gone back to Tassie to live. I go back to visit my family. All my family's in Tassie, but been in New South Wales since. Went out to Coonamble, done a sort of 12 months out there working on big properties, big gear. Back then I just loved tractors. I wanted to drive big tractors and have fun on big tractors. I was only young, so 450, 500 horsepower tractors, and it was big areas. They give you a motorbike to go around and check cattle and lots of stuff. So that was really good as a jackaroo to start out, and then went back to Canada to manage a farm, and that was my start of my education again, to start to go, right, now I was learning off this agronomist that was coming out and teaching me a lot of this stuff that was going on when I was managing. And I was like, that's really cool. The stuff that I'm learning is really good. So then I decided I wanted to go to uni and study agronomy. So I went down to Wagga for 3 years and study as an agronomist down there. After completing that, went back to Canada, worked for Perth House Rural as an agronomist there for about 4 years, and then went and managed a cotton farm after that, and then moved to the coast in 2011 from there. So I had to retrain myself, and this is the good thing about agriculture is you never know everything. It's so much to learn, and even yesterday there was a webinar we get on to learn some stuff that's going on, and the environment's always changing and weather's always changing, and there's so much to know and different years. So I had to rechange into acid soils, where out there was alkaline soils, had to retrain myself. And I've been on the coast here now since 2011, working as an agronomist, a seed rep, and then started my own business in 2021, which is where we are now, since 2021. So really, early days for a small business for me, big change, but it's exciting.
Excellent. And you've had had a lot of change, a lot of movement. What are some of the key skills do you feel like that you use to get through all those changes, and also now starting your own business as an agronomist? Like, what are some kind of skills that you've utilised?
Yeah, look, I think no matter what business you're in or what job you're doing, you've got to be able to negotiate with people. I'm really big on negotiation and life's negotiation, whether it's I listen to some podcasts, and I think we all, as we develop, want to listen to other people and learn from other people, and learning from other people, and then understanding that they've got skills that you don't have, and it's recognising what you're not good at, and then trying to bring those people in. Starting it as a small business, that's been big for me, because I need to know to get the accountant right and everything else, because that's stuff that I'm definitely not good at. So it's being able to get those people in your life and go forward. But as you work through different jobs and different people, you need to be able to negotiate one for yourself, your own worth, and what's that worth to them. There's a difference between value and worth, and you got to understand what that is, I think, and that's really important. And I can't say that I've had a bad employer. Every job I've gone to, and I've been to a lot over the years, I've always had really good employers that have done the best for me, but I think it starts with your negotiation with them as well. So I think being able to negotiate and be employable and be someone that you want to develop at the point you're at. It's great to have dreams, great to have ambition and all that sort of stuff, but I do find sometimes some of these people, they want to be the CEO and they just left school. And it's like, yep, that's great, but let's enjoy where you are. And I think that's what I really try to do, is enjoy the position you're in and what you're doing. But yes, have ambition and all that sort of stuff, that's great, but you've got to enjoy that moment and try and make the most of those moments. Otherwise, you sometimes don't get that next step. Yeah,
work through and learn at every step, right? Yeah, amazing. What is it that you love about being an agronomist?
The learning and the changing and the networking. So it's not just what I know, and a lot of the time it's what you don't know, and this is what we find in agriculture, and because I do a lot of research and stuff as well, so we have our own research equipment which we do planting of different trials and stuff, and the more you learn about research, you actually learn about, there's another 50 questions from that one research, right? So it's understanding that there's more we don't know than what we know, and if you can try to keep on working on that, what you don't know, and finding that, I find that excellent, because that's what people want you to do, right? They're doing their own business and their own stuff, and they want you to find out what they don't know and help them. And sometimes you can help them straight away with your knowledge and experience, but a lot of times about the research and the networking to find out who does know, and if we don't know, where do we find it? And that's the key, is being able to network with a lot of people, and I really enjoy that social networking with the industries and all that sort of stuff, and the key stakeholders, and to try and get that right information to the people that need it.
Yeah, great. And what do you feel like, how do you feel your personal values are reflected in your work? So how does your work bring out your personal values, things that are important to you?
Probably my ability to help. I really enjoy, when things are tough, and a lot of farmers are going through a lot of tough things. I really enjoy being someone that can help them get the answers they need, because sometimes we get to a point where we're stressed, and there's a lot of stress out there at the moment, and being able to relieve some of that stress with just some simple information or getting them to the right person. So a lot of the time it's a lot of that direction changing stuff. So to me, I reckon it's my ability to be able to help and give answers to people is what I like.
Excellent. And what would be one piece of advice you would give someone younger starting out, or maybe reflecting back on your younger self? What would be a key piece of advice?
I reckon it's back to what I sort of started with, and that is don't be someone that sort of just wants to get to the top and think. Enjoy that moment. Be valuable to the people that are around you as best you can, and add value and be employable. And that's about, simple things. Turn up on time, be useful, use your initiative, ask questions. I think it's a bit of a thing out there too with, if you're asking questions, you're dumb or you're not. That's just someone like me. If I've got someone asking me questions, they're the people that I want around me because they want to learn and they want to develop, and they're going to be able to do the job rather than someone that just pretends they know and tries to fiddle through with it. So definitely ask them the questions and enjoy the steps along the way. I think that's the key, and I reckon early on sometimes I didn't do that because I was just busy wanting to work and do whatever, but I think you've really got to celebrate the successes. Because often we can focus on the negatives about work, and it's hard day work, and it's hot, and it's this and all that sort of stuff. But you've got to look at the success. And what I really loved about when I was younger, and I'd sit on tractors for 16 hours a day, and I enjoyed it because I got overtime, and overtime for me back then was great. But you'd finish a paddock and it was all ploughed and it's all done, or you'd plant a paddock and it's all done, and you see that crop come through. So celebrating all those achievements through those little points is really, really important going forward.
Excellent. Perfect. Thanks, Josh. Thanks for joining us today for our Human Library.
Thank you very much.